Hello, everyone. Happy solstice. I'm actually recording this the day before the solstice, and I'm just feeling the energy already, and I hope that you are as well. Lots shifting, lots changing for us in the collective, and also, I'm sure, for most of us personally as well. And there's this amazing mix. You hear the bird, very talkative. And there's this real mix of amazing opportunity to step into the realm of radiance, to live our best life, to truly reclaim all of who we are. And I've never felt the energy quite so open in terms of that reclamation, the ease with which we can in any moment choose to reconnect to the whole of who we are and to give thanks and gratitude for this life, the beauty all around us. And it's the opportunity that's right there, and yet there can be so many reasons that are presented to us by just life itself, by the energies, by other people that say, oh no, the world's in a terrible shape, you can't do that, or like, what about this, what about that, have you thought about this, henny penny, the sky is falling today. That's a little I don't know if that's actually translates across cultures or not, but there's like a story about this little chicken that when she was like so high anxiety, and she was always saying the sky was falling, the sky was falling. I can't remember the whole of the story, but that is just something I think of often when there are so many naysayers and so many people who would say that this time is one of total tragedy and everything is dying away, which a lot of it is. But I keep, take heart, as I said in the last video, although I was talking a little more about tricky personal situations there. Well, actually collective as well. So let me slow down a bit and say this here and now is the realm of radiance. And no matter how difficult the challenges have been that you may have walked through, and I understand that, from things that occurred all throughout 2023 and going back a bit to, this transition, this passage to a new society, 2020 to 2027. And if you would like to, you can dip into my videos that I made for each year and what that year was about. And I do find value. I looked back because I was like, wait, what was 2021 all about? And in hindsight, I can see it even clearer. So what we're doing in these 7 years of 2020 to 2027 is we are really grounding and anchoring in the 7 wonders of the soul: faith, hope, love, healing, growth, passion, beauty. And we are collectively and individually, I believe it works on both levels, but definitely collectively, we are receiving fully the energies that are there for us to make this transition, this passage to a new society, and ultimately into a new era rich in love that I've been talking about for so long. And I've never felt so much like it's there, I can feel it, it's there. Now, will we see it 100% within 2 years? I don't know, but I do feel it. It's coming, it's here. We just have to step into it every day and be committed and devoted. The devotion is super important. It's interesting that I chose that word at the beginning of this year, and I did it not from a place of thinking, like logically, like I typically do. This year was very, very much like it was given to me, almost like devotion. And for me, that has various meanings in terms of what I am devoted to. But one of the things that I feel like is an opportunity for all of us is to be fully devoted to that radical reclamation of our whole self and our soul self, and our belonging to each other, our belonging to this beautiful natural world that has so much for us and that gives so freely and that we can give back to and be in harmony with. So this passage to a new society over these 7 years, we are in right now the year that corresponds to growth, and 2020, is that right? 21, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I had to count. Yes, growth. So next year will be passion and then beauty. So next year will be quite explosive. If you've thought that this year was, get ready, buckle up. But the solstice energy feels very beautiful and calm, and for those who have eyes to see. You got to get a place where you can feel truly, authentically who you are, because there are so many things right now that could pull us off course day to day, and then just larger what's happening in the world at large. So take the time to be in a place that brings you to life, even if it's as simple as a small little corner of your home or your backyard, and be there and just be and just celebrate the being and the light that is showering down upon you and showering out from within you. Receive that more and more and more every day. There's also an element of this solstice that is very much about the bringing to light of things that have been tucked away over and over and over again by various corners of our society and by individuals and players, both human and beyond energies that are at play. And there have been things that have been for eons, at least thousands of years, over and over again, co-opted and directed in a certain way. Important. Hold on. I'm going to leave the details to share elsewhere, but in my last couple of months, I was traveling. I traveled out west to a couple of locations, and the last location was something that was, it was a wonderful opportunity for me, but it was placed me right in the area of Silicon Valley. So I had, on the map within, like hundreds of yards, a mile, 2 miles, and it formed, I was placed very in a location that if you drew the map to these various locations of these very large tech companies that do drive our world, at least on the technological side. And by the way, Silicon Valley was funded by the government, and in the early days, that's documented, but I would say it's still very much the case, and the venture capital funds also. If you look at government, banking, technology, they're very intertwined. I'm going to leave it at that. So these large companies, I can think of 5 right now, that in particular are large players to different degrees in terms of the ways that they've been compromised from within sometimes, and then other times from outside influence, and as I was shown, sort of the dark woods deals that went down and at various junctures. And yet, okay, so there's that, right? And that's so right now, that's a big thing in our world, the advent of AI and there's a hawk up there, and some of the other changes that are rapidly coming down the pike. And there's a juncture that we are at And even within that juncture, regardless of what happens, on a broad scale, there are going to be opportunities for us to choose the degree to which we allow that to be the primary driver of our lives, and the degree to which we tap in or do not tap in. And so these are very important decisions. And I think that the solstice energy that we have right now is giving us an opportunity collectively to shed light on various areas, that being only one. I've talked about the culture of collusion previously, and how each one of us, sometimes unknowingly, because we're not bringing our conscious attention to it, we animate or give life and energy to these various systems that then can be quite destructive. Now, I am not in any way, shape, or form anti-technology. I love the fact that it can make our lives easier. I am also not, I do believe in being in the world, but not of it, but I do not, I'm not a proponent of complete withdrawal or like rejection of all modern innovation. I love innovation. And what I'm saying here, though, is that the solstice in particular, wow, the hawk's like right in the tree. Well, can you see it? Shoot, where'd he go? Come back. Oh, maybe he'll fly again. Sorry, I think I missed him just by a hair. He's circling up there. There's a degree to which, this solstice energy is giving us collectively and individually and in communities an opportunity to review. Are we going to leave that over there and just let it do its thing because it makes our life easier? Not that we can, necessarily any one of us, or really, communities can not necessarily, step in and do anything about a private company. That's, it's kind of, it's like the lockstep, right? Once you have that, the two that come together, two industries or two sectors of society there is sort of a intertwining of the shared interests, and then of course there's the tension, right? Because of what is created, and then there's all sorts of things that come out of that. Sometimes driven by individuals, and sometimes driven by sort of an unconscious energy operating in the background of these corporate and or systemic situations. And the opportunity now, and Solstice ushering it in, but continuing, I would say, through the end of this year at a minimum, so through the end of 2024, is for us to bring more and more light into the ways that we are sustaining systems that maybe have been corrupted and aren't so great, ultimately, even though they present a lot of conveniences. We have to look at what is being sacrificed, and in particular, the ways that sometimes, because of the co-opted flow of energy within these companies or systems, the ways that may be bringing harm to groups within society that are actually harmed by the very things that bring us such convenience day to day. It's a little difficult to, I was trying to write it down after I was shown some of the things that I was shown, and I think I mentioned in a previous video that, so like when I realized, okay, I'm going to go to, this place, and then I'm going here, and then I'm going to California for a month, and I, realized it was close to, it was actually on or very close to the San Andreas Fault. So when it was clear that I was going, I was it must be about earthquakes and the San Andreas Fault, because I definitely can feel like the earth energy as well. But got there, and as I mentioned, it was much more about being the location that I was in regard to these various centers of the titans of industry, modern day, in terms of technology, and then also very specific people, and also the interplay between, again, banking, technology, government, local, state, and most definitely federal. And then beyond that, what I could see is it's not just the people in government either. It's the energies that are at play in various organizations set up by the government, and some public and we're well aware of them, and some not. And education as well. So there's education, banking, government, a little bit of healthcare in there too. Yeah. So I was trying, when I was out there, and when I realized, that was what it was about, I had no anticipation of that whatsoever. And I am, so those of you who follow me know, like, I'm not like I don't really understand a lot of the nuances of science, technology, and all of that, or money for that matter. But I can see certain things, and so, like, I could map out, like, physically draw a map of these people and places. But in addition, I could see the lines of the energetic lines that went out from these various when these various systems overlapped. And then there's, the darker, if you will, energies that are somewhat behind some of that. And again, some of the players, some of the people weren't necessarily on board with that darker agenda at all. It's just that you become entangled. And in some cases, people probably were on board with it. And what I am getting at here, though, is that being one example, and there are many examples that have to do, in America in particular, with government, the state, and the people. We the people. Oh, I just got chills. My partner who passed away, my longtime life partner, Tim, who passed away in December, one of the things he used to love to do is read the Declaration of Independence every July 4th. And there are values there, and there's an ideal there that was, the ideal itself was a pure gift, I think, that, again, people who are in leadership positions, some from the very beginning and then some later, and then it grows and grows. And there are ways that, and this happens in the microcosm too with people, there are ways that we lose sight of the original ideal, the intention. So this solstice is an opportunity for us to do on our individual level, and then hopefully in communities and collectively, to really take a look at all of the dreams and the visions and the goals and the intentions that we have had for our own lives, for our families, for our communities, for our nation, state, nation, world. And I want to throw in there also cosmic and galactic, because I think that there's division there too, in the way people speak about that, and in the way certain, there again, that energy is available in all dimensions, in all time space realities, and it comes down to sovereignty and choice. And so choose light, choose life, choose love, and definitely feel into all of the situations that you encounter day to day, and all of the moments. Pay attention and acknowledge, you're like, oh, okay, I'm giving my energy to this thing, sometimes in exchange for, and notice that. begin to be aware, more and more aware of all of the choices day by day. And that includes the interpersonal, how you're showing up and what you're receiving, giving and receiving. That cycle of giving and receiving is very much at play right now. So that is my solstice message. I'm going to share, it's been 12 years this year since I released Cultivating Essence from the Matrix of Soul. I have still not found a publisher, and the book is still not available as a whole, but I'm going to read it. I'm going to read I haven't decided yet if I'm going to read the original passages as they were given to me, and I wrote down quickly in a matter of days as they were, and I never changed anything. That came straight from Spirit. And then I have reflections on each of those 90 seeds for life that make up the book, Cultivating Essence from the Matrix of Soul, Sustainable Systems for Flourishing Humanity, given to me way back in 1999, but I was terrified to share it, so I didn't share it publicly until 2011, and then released the free ebook, which was available in 2012 on the summer solstice, which was June 21st. So I will put a link to that either in this video or below. Take a look. Join me if you can. Much love to you, and really enjoy this sacred time of the radical reclamation of the whole of who you are, and the radiant realization of who you are and who we are now.